Hello and welcome to the final unit, which is all about the Sun, the Earth and the Moon. My name is Joanne Gertschler. The topics we're going to be looking at in this video: vocabulary, what are the Sun, Earth and Moon? Does the Sun move? Why do we have day and night? What are sunrise and sunset? The 4 seasons, and the planets in our solar system. So let's start with the vocabulary. We're going to revise the main vocabulary words introduced in this topic. You'll see the English word, the meaning of the word, a sentence using the word, and a picture. So the first word is planet, meaning a planet is a large round object in space that moves around a star. The Earth is a planet. Star, a large ball of burning gas in space. The Sun is the Earth's star. Orbit, it moves around in a continuous curving path. It never stops. Sentence, the planet is in orbit around the star. Sundial, a thing used for telling the time using the sun. Do you know how to use a sundial? Globe, a ball-shaped object with the map of the world on it. We might use a globe in the social studies lesson. Axis, an imaginary line through the middle of something. You cannot see the axis of the Earth. Tilted, sloping or on an angle. The Earth spins on a tilted axis. Spin, it turns quickly around a central point. The Earth spins on its own axis. Rotation, the movement of something through one complete circle. The daily rotation of the Earth. Sunrise, the time in the morning when the sun first appears in the sky. The rain started before sunrise. Sunset, the time in the evening when the sun disappears out of sight. The wedding starts at sunset. Seasons, the periods into which a year is divided and which each has its own weather conditions. The 4 seasons are spring, summer, autumn and winter. Revolution, a single orbit of one object around another. The Earth takes about 365 days for one revolution around the Sun. Hemisphere, a half of the Earth usually divided into northern and southern by the equator. Turkey is in the northern hemisphere. Solar system, the collection of 8 planets and their moons in orbit around the Sun. Earth is one of the planets in our solar system. So part 2, what are the Sun, Earth and Moon? Well, the Sun is the star of our solar system. The Earth is a planet that orbits the Sun. The Moon is a natural satellite. The Earth moves around the Sun and the Moon moves around the Earth. So what is the Sun? Well, the Sun is a star. It gives out heat and light and makes life possible on Earth. Stars are orbited by planets. The Sun is roughly spherical in shape and is much, much bigger than the Earth, 1,300,000 times bigger. The heat and light from the Sun is felt and seen on Earth. So what is the Earth? The planet Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour. It takes 24 hours to complete a full rotation. It's daytime on the side of the Earth that faces the Sun, and nighttime on the side that is facing away. The Earth takes a year to travel around the Sun. Planet Earth has one moon, which is held in orbit by gravity. And finally, what is the Moon? The Moon is Earth's only natural satellite. It completes one rotation in about 27 days, the same time it takes to complete one orbit. Because of this, the same side of the Moon always faces Earth. It's the brightest object in the sky after the Sun. The Moon orbits or travels around Earth. It takes the Moon about 27 days to make one trip around Earth. Part 3. Does the Sun move? Well, the Sun appears to move across the sky during the day. It looks like it does, but it does not really move. The Earth moves. Look at these two pictures. Serena wakes up early because the sun shines through her window. In the afternoon, no sun shines through Serena's window. Has the sun moved? In the daytime, half of the Earth faces the sun. The other half of the Earth faces away from the sun. It receives no light. It is dark, and this is nighttime. The sun does not move. It appears to move across the sky, starting in the east in the morning, moving towards the south at noon, and then towards the west as the day ends. We know our shadow is the shortest when the sun is at the highest point in the sky. It's the Earth spinning on its axis that makes it seem as though the sun is moving. So why do we have day and night? The Earth rotates on its axis from west to east. The Earth completes one rotation every 24 hours. So as the Earth orbits around the sun, it also spins on its own axis, which is tipped like a globe. It's tilted. At any time, half of the Earth faces the sun and receives light. That part is in day. The other half faces away from the sun and so receives very little light. That part is in night. Sunrise and sunset. The sun appears to rise in the east and set in the west. Sunrise and sunset times and the length of day change every day throughout the year. So what's the difference? Okay. On this date, September the 16th, sunrise was at 6:45 in the morning, sunset was at 7:21 in the evening. So the length of the day was 12 hours and 36 minutes. But on September the 18th, the sunrise was 6:47, sunset was 7:19. The length of the day was 12 hours and 32 minutes. So if we do 36, take away 32, the daytime was 4 minutes shorter on September the 18th. Again, February the 19th, sunrise 7:20, sunset 5:26. February the 20th, sunrise 7:18, sunset 5:28. 10 hours 6 minutes, 10 hours 10 minutes. This time, we're adding 4 minutes. As you can see, this was Adana. On the 21st of September, the length of the day was 12 hours and 8 minutes. By the 30th of September, it was down to 11 hours 47 minutes. The 4 seasons. The Earth revolves around the sun. It takes the Earth 365¼ day for one orbit. There are 2 hemispheres, northern and southern, and the seasons change because of which hemisphere you live in. As the Earth orbits the sun, when its axis tips towards the sun, the weather gets warmer. When it tilts away, the weather gets colder, causing the Earth's seasons. So if you think about, in the northern hemisphere, it's spring. In the southern hemisphere, it's autumn. In the northern hemisphere, it's summer. Southern hemisphere, winter. Northern hemisphere, autumn. Southern hemisphere, spring. Northern hemisphere, winter. Southern hemisphere, summer. Turkey is in the northern hemisphere. So when the sun rises in Great Britain on the other side of the world, it's about to set in the opposite. The solar system is made up of the sun, which is a star and has 8 planets. The planets are all different in shape, size and features. Our solar system is a small part of the Milky Way galaxy. The 8 planets are all in their own orbit around the sun. They're divided into terrestrial planets, they're rocky, mineral-filled Earth-like planets, and gas giants, which are large bodies made mostly of gases like hydrogen and helium. So let's think, Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to our sun. 88 Earth days to orbit around. Minus 173 degrees centigrade at night. It gets up to 427 centigrade during the day. Venus. Venus is next. It's the hottest planet in the solar system. For one orbit, it's 225 Earth days. The average temperature is 462 degrees centigrade. It consists almost entirely of carbon dioxide. The Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun. It's the planet that we live on. 365.25 days. So what we do is we add another day every 4 years. We call that the leap year. Temperatures, anything from negative 88 to 58 degrees. 75% of the Earth consists of water. Mars, the little red planet, is our closest neighbour. 687 Earth days to orbit the Sun. Negative 87 degrees to negative 5 degrees. As you can see, it's getting colder the further away you get from the Sun. It gets its reddish colour from its high levels of iron oxide. Now we're into the gas giants. Jupiter, the largest and most massive planet in the solar system. For one orbit, it takes 11.86 Earth years. Negative 108 degrees centigrade. Now on the picture you can see it's got a big red spot. It's actually an endless storm that is bigger than the size of Earth. Saturn, the 2nd biggest planet, 6th planet from the Sun. 29.5 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Negative 139. It's most well known for its enormous and beautiful ring system. However, most people don't know that Jupiter, Neptune and Uranus all have ring systems as well. Uranus, the 7th planet from the Sun, is the 3rd largest planet. For one orbit, it takes 84 Earth years. Average temperature, negative 197 degrees centigrade. It has 13 rings and is tilted on its side at 98 degrees. Because of this, there are parts of Uranus that have daytime and nighttime for 42 years in a row. And Neptune is our most distant planet. 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Negative 201 degrees centigrade. Has a moon called Triton that is home to a frozen sea of ice that is thought could support some life. Jupiter and Saturn also have a similar moon. Thanks for watching.